The Galactic Council Hall was older than most stars. Its walls were carved from black crystal that reflected light like frozen space. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in wide circles, floating platforms or towering thrones. This hall had seen the rise and fall of thousands of civilizations. Today, the mood was not serious. It was amused. At the center of the chamber, a glowing image rotated slowly. A small blue planet appeared on the screen, covered in clouds, water, and green land. Designation, Sol 3, a mechanical voice announced. Common name, Earth. Laughter echoed across the hall. One alien leader leaned forward, his thin arms resting on the edge of his seat. "This is the new species," he asked. "These are the ones detected beyond the outer rim?" Another council member clicked his mandibles in mock interest. "They fight each other constantly," he said. "Over land, over ideas, even over beliefs they cannot prove." More laughter followed. A tall, silver-skinned delegate waved a hand. "Their technology is centuries behind us. Chemical weapons, crude machines, slow travel, no unified command." The image shifted, showing scenes from Earth's past. Wars, explosions, soldiers running through smoke. "They have never known peace," one counselor said, "and yet they call themselves civilized." The council agreed quickly. Humanity was noisy, emotional, violent, weak. "Another primitive species," someone said. "We have seen hundreds like them." But not everyone laughed. At the far edge of the chamber, Observer Cartel stood silent. He was old, even by galactic standards. His species had survived 3 extinction wars. He watched the image carefully, his eyes focused not on the explosions, but on the humans themselves. "They survive," Cartel said quietly. No one heard him at first. The council continued talking. "They destroy their own planet," one leader said. "Pollution, climate damage, internal conflict. They are divided into nations," another added. "No single ruler. No galactic awareness." Cartel raised his voice. "They survive," he repeated. The laughter slowed. A few counselors turned toward him. "Observer Cartel," the speaker said. "Do you disagree?" Cartel stepped forward. The lights reflected off the scars on his armor. "I do not disagree with the facts," he said. "I are with your conclusion. I question your confidence." The council chamber grew quiet. "These humans live on a Deathworld," Cartel continued. "High gravity, violent weather, constant natural disasters, predators on land, predators in water." "So," a council replied, "many species survive harsh worlds." "Yes," Cartel said, "but few choose to stay." Humans did not escape their world. They adapted to it. The image changed again. Humans training in snow. Humans training in deserts. Humans running under heavy loads. "They train for war during peace," Cartel said. "They prepare for loss before it happens." A council member laughed again, though weaker this time. "Preparation means nothing without power." Cartel nodded. "That is true, which is why I suggest caution." "Caution," another leader said. "Against this?" The image zoomed in on a human soldier. Mud on his face. Eyes calm. Weapons steady. "They are still animals," the leader continued. "Animals that learn to build tools." Silence followed. Then the high speaker rose. "We have wasted enough time," the high speaker said. "Earth has been observed long enough. It is time for first contact." The council leaned forward. "Peaceful?" someone asked. The high speaker paused. "Controlled," he said. "We will send a small force. A show of power. Enough to force surrender." Excited murmurs spread across the hall. "Once they see our ships," a counselor said, "they will kneel." "They always do," another added. Cartel said nothing. His eyes stayed on the human soldier in the image. The vote was quick. First contact was approved, not as equals, but as a warning. Across the galaxy, fleets began to move. Massive ships powered up engines older than Earth's moon. Weapons charged. Orders were sent. And far away, on a small blue planet, something strange happened. Earth did not panic. There were no global screams. No cities burning in fear. No governments collapsing. Instead, signals activated. Quietly, satellites shifted orbit. Hidden bases opened. Long-in-use systems came online. Deep underground, lights turned on in silent halls. Human commanders did not shout. They did not argue. They prepared. In command centers across the planet, screens filled with data. Unknown ships. Unknown energy patterns. Confirmed, one officer said calmly, "They're real." No one celebrated. No one cried. A general stood with hands behind his back, staring at the screen. "So," he said, "they finally came." Orders moved across the world in seconds. Armies that had never fought together before began to align. Air forces lifted. Naval fleets moved. Ground units deployed. Not in chaos. In discipline. Back in the Galactic Council Hall, sensors picked up Earth's response. One officer looked at the data. "They are mobilizing," he said. The high speaker smiled. "As expected. Fear response." But Cartel leaned closer to the screen. "These formations," he whispered. "This is not fear." The image showed millions of human soldiers moving as one, prepared, focused, waiting. Cartel felt something he had not felt in centuries. Regret. Because the galaxy had not just found humanity, it had challenged it. And the humans were ready. The alien fleet entered Earth's system in perfect formation. Massive ships of silver and black metal drifted past the outer planets. Their hulls reflected the light of the sun like cold mirrors. Each ship was larger than any human city. Their weapons remained visible, uncovered, meant to be seen. This was not an attack. It was a threat. Inside the lead command vessel, alien officers watched her closely. Screens showed the blue planet growing larger with every passing moment. "Begin transmission," the fleet commander ordered. A powerful signal burst toward Earth, translated instantly into every human language. "This is a Galactic Council." The message said, "You have been observed. You are not alone. Power beyond your understanding has arrived. Stand down your military forces and prepare for guidance." The commander waited. He expected chaos. He expected panic. He expected human leaders to argue, to beg, or to threaten. Instead, Earth stayed silent. Minutes passed. No response came. The commander frowned. Increased signal strength. The message was sent again. Louder. Stronger. Still nothing. On Earth, the message had been received everywhere. Screens flashed in cities. Radios interrupted broadcasts. Even deep-sea stations heard it clearly. And still, there was no reply. In underground command centers, human leaders watched the same images. Alien ships, energy readings, unknown weapons. No one spoke for a long moment. Finally, the general from before broke the silence. "They announced themselves," he said. "Good." An officer looked up. "Sir, should we respond?" The general shook his head. "Not yet." Across the planet, similar scenes played out. Nations that once mistrusted each other now shared data. Without delay, old enemies exchanged signals and coordinates. Fear existed, yes, but it did not rule them. Training did. Procedure did. Preparation did. Back in space, the alien commander grew impatient. "They ignore us," an officer said. "Perhaps they do not understand." The commander clicked his claws together. "They understand. They choose silence." "Should we demonstrate power?" another officer asked. The commander considered this. "A limited display," he said. "No casualties. Enough to remind them of their place." A small alien ship detached from the fleet and moved closer to Earth, its weapon charged, glowing with energy. A single blast fired. High above Earth's atmosphere, the beam struck empty space. The explosion lit the sky like a second sun. Satellites across the planet recorded it. Still, Earth did not answer. But something changed. Alien sensors began to detect movement. Large movement. "All ground forces are mobilizing," an officer reported. "Air units launching. Naval fleets leaving ports." The commander smiled. "There it is," he said. "Fear. But observer Cartel, watching from the rear of the bridge, felt unease. "These movements are too ordered," he said. "Too calm." The commander waved him off. "They are animals preparing to defend territory." Cartel did not argue. He watched. On Earth, soldiers move with speed and purpose. No speeches. No cheering crowds. No heroic music. Just orders. Units that had trained for years without knowing why now understood. This was why. In a desert base, a human officer checked her weapon and looked at her squad. "Remember," she said, "we hold. We observe. We don't fire unless ordered." In the ocean, submarines slid into deeper waters, silent and unseen. In the air, pilots waited on runways, engines ready, eyes focused. Earth was not screaming. Earth was breathing. Back in space, the alien commander decided to push further. "Deploy ground probes," he ordered. "Let them see us." Small transport ships broke away and headed toward the planet. They entered Earth's atmosphere without resistance. No missiles rose. No defenses fired. The ships landed in open terrain, far from cities. Alien troops stepped out, tall and armored, weapons glowing softly. They expected crowds. They expected fear. Instead, they found nothing. Empty land. Quiet skies. One alien soldier shifted uncomfortably. "Where are they?" he asked. Above them, unseen, satellites tracked every movement. Human commanders watched silently. "Hold position," the general said. Hours passed. The alien troops waited. Then, without warning, Earth's sky filled with movement. Aircraft appeared on every horizon. Not attacking. Not threatening. Just watching. Alien scanners struggled to keep up. The human machines were simple, but fast, hard to predict. The alien commander frowned. Why do they not attack? "Perhaps they are afraid to begin," an officer said. Cartel shook his head slowly. "No," he said, "they are learning." Suddenly, one alien transport lost power. It did not explode. It shut down. Human electronic warfare had reached it. The ship fell gently to the ground, disabled. The alien troops froze. Then another ship went dark. And another. No shots fired. No lives lost. Just control taken away. The commander's confidence cracked. "They are interfering with our systems," an officer said. "How?" "They shouldn't be able to," another replied. But they were. Human commanders exchanged brief looks. "Now," the general said calmly. Across the planet, one message was sent. Not a threat, not a plea, just 4 words. "Leave our world." The alien commander stared at the screen. This was not fear. This was a warning. And for the first time since entering the system, the Galactic fleet hesitated. Because first contact had not gone as planned, and the humans were still holding back. The alien fleet pulled its ground forces back into orbit, not in retreat. Not yet, but the confidence they had carried into the system was gone. Inside the lead command ship, silence filled the bridge. Screens showed Earth below, calm and bright, like nothing had happened. No burning cities. No chaos. No surrender signals. The fleet commander stood still, staring at the data streams. "How did they disable our ships?" he asked. No one answered. "Our systems are older than their species," he said, his voice sharp. "Their technology should not be able to touch us." Observer Cartel stepped forward. "You assume progress only moves in one direction," he said. "Humans progressed under pressure." The commander turned. "Explain." Cartel gestured to the screen. "They did not build technology for comfort. They built it for survival." More data arrived. Human troop movements, air patrol patterns, naval formations, ground forces shifting positions with perfect timing. "They are not reacting," Cartel continued. "They are executing plans." On Earth, the army was fully awake. In a mountain base buried deep in rock, rows of soldiers stood ready. Their armor was not shiny. It was worn, scratched, tested. A human colonel walked between them, her boots echoing softly. "Listen," she said. "We don't know what they want, but we know why we exist." The soldiers did not cheer. They nodded, Across the world, similar scenes played out. In frozen lands, troops trained in temperatures that killed most species. In jungles, units moved through thick green darkness without sound. In deserts, soldiers operated with little water under burning skies. This was not new for them. This was normal. The alien fleet launched thousands of probes, scanning Earth more deeply now. What they found disturbed them. Human soldiers trained constantly, even during peace. They ran long distances under heavy weight. They learned to fight with and without weapons. They practiced in darkness, noise, and confusion. Alien analysts compared the data to known species. None matched. These soldiers are overtrained, an officer said. Why would they prepare for conditions that extreme? Cartel answered softly, because their world demands it. Earth's gravity alone was a weapon, stronger than most habitable planets. Every human grew up under its weight, their bones dense, their muscles conditioned from birth. Then there was weather, storms that destroyed cities, oceans that swallowed fleets, earthquakes that erased history. And still, humans rebuilt. They do not fear pain, Cartel said. They expect it. The fleet commander watched the training recording. A human soldier injured, bleeding, still moving forward to complete the task. Why? The commander asked. Why not stop? Because stopping often meant death on their world, Cartel replied. On Earth, a new order was given. Limited engagement authorized. Human commanders did not plan to destroy the fleet. Not yet. They planned to test it. High above the atmosphere, a small group of human ships moved forward. Compared to the alien fleet, they looked fragile, smaller, slower. The alien commander smiled slightly. They send offerings, he said. The human ships did not fire. They maneuvered. They spread out, changing direction constantly. Alien targeting systems struggled to lock on. Then the humans struck, not with brute force, with precision. They hit sensor arrays, communication relays, navigation systems. Alien ships began to drift, blind and confused. What are they doing? An officer shouted. They're crippling us, another replied. The commander clenched his fists. Fire back. Alien weapons discharged, bright and powerful. The human ships were already gone. They retreated instantly, slipping back toward Earth's protection. No losses, no damage, just a message sent. On Earth, the general watched the results. They learn fast, he said. But so do we. Alien analysts work without rest. They studied human history now, not just their technology. They saw endless wars, mistakes, failures, but also adaptation. Every loss taught humans something. Every defeat changed their methods. They fight each other, one alien said. Why are they so effective together? Cartel answered, because they learned unity through conflict. The fleet commander paced a bridge. They are not primitive, he admitted. They are unfinished. Cartel shook his head. No, he said. They are complete, just not polished. Earth's army was not beautiful. It was practical. Human weapons did not glow. They did not sing with energy. They worked. In the field, a human squad moved into position as alien drones entered the atmosphere again. Targets in sight, a soldier said. Hold, the leader replied. The drone scanned. Humans waited. Then, at the perfect moment, the squad acted. The drones fell from the sky, disabled, not destroyed. Captured, studied. Alien commanders watched in growing horror. They are taking our technology, one officer said, piece by piece. And learning from it, Cartel added. The fleet commander finally understood. This species was not meant to be ruled, he said. No, Cartel agreed. It was meant to endure. Above Earth, the galaxy watched quietly. The mocking laughter from the council hall felt distant now, because Earth's army had not shown its full strength, only its discipline, and the galaxy was beginning to realize something terrifying. Humans were not fighting to win. They were fighting to understand their enemy, and that was far worse. The alien fleet finally accepted what it tried to deny. Earth would not submit. The fleet commander stood at the center of the bridge, his voice steady but cold. "Begin full suppression," he ordered. "Cripple their defenses. End their resistance." This time, there would be no warnings. Massive alien ships shifted position. Weapons charged across the fleet, glowing like captured stars. The order spread instantly. The first strikes fell on Earth's outer defenses. Satellites vanished in flashes of light. Communication relays went silent. From orbit, it looked like the beginning of Earth's defeat. But on the planet below, human commanders had already expected this. "Outer net lost," an officer reported. The general nodded. "As planned." Human systems switched instantly. Older networks activated. Ground-based relays replaced orbital ones. Messages rerouted through cables, radio, and even physical couriers. Earth did not go blind. Alien forces pushed closer. Dropships moved toward strategic locations. This time, human weapons answered. Missiles rose from hidden silos. Air forces launched in waves. Naval fleets spread across oceans like steel shadows. The sky filled with motion. The battle had begun. Alien weapons were powerful, but slow to adapt. Human pilots flew low and fast, using terrain, weather, and speed. They did not charge blindly. They hunted. In the clouds, a human pilot locked onto a massive alien craft. "Target acquired," she said calmly. She did not aim for the core. She aimed for control systems. The alien ship lost balance, drifting off course. It did not explode. It collided with another vessel instead. Confusion spread through the fleet. "They are not fighting like a weaker force," an alien officer shouted. "They fight like predators." On the ground, alien troops landed in multiple regions, expecting quick victories. Instead, they met resistance everywhere. Human soldiers did not rush forward. They waited. They used cover. They used angles. They used patience. An alien unit advanced through a ruined city, weapons raised. The streets were empty, too empty. Then the ground shook. Human forces struck from hidden positions. Above, below, from directions alien scanners failed to detect. The humans did not shout. They moved. Alien units fell back, disorganized. Their armor was strong, but their formations broke. "Why don't they retreat?" an alien commander demanded. "Because retreat is not always survival," Observer Cartel answered quietly. Human soldiers held positions that should have been impossible. Some were injured. Some were exhausted. None abandoned their ground. They had trained for this. They had trained for worse. Across the planet, reports came in. Human cities damaged, but standing. Power restored quickly. Civilians moved to shelters with calm efficiency. The alien fleet had expected panic. They found resolve. In space, the fleet tried to regain control. Larger weapons fired, forcing human ships back. Losses mounted on both sides. A human cruiser took a direct hit. Its engines failed. It drifted, exposed. "Abandon ship," the captain ordered. The crew refused. "We can still fight," an officer said. The captain looked at the burning screens, then nodded. "Then we fight." The damaged ship redirected power. It did not flee. It rammed. The collision disabled a far larger alien vessel. Both ships were lost. The fleet commander watched the recording in silence. "They sacrificed themselves," he said, without hesitation. Cartel answered, "They call it duty." As the battle continued, something changed across the galaxy. Observers from distant systems tuned in. Traders, explorers, empires. They watched humanity stand against a force that crushed countless worlds. And they did not fall. Human tactics adapted by the hour. Captured alien technology was analyzed and countered. New defenses appeared where none existed before. "They learned too fast," an alien scientist said. "We cannot predict them." The fleet commander's confidence finally broke. "This is not conquest," he said. "This is a mistake." He ordered a focused strike on a major human military center. A decisive blow. The weapon fired. It did not reach its target. Human interceptors launched with perfect timing. destroyed it mid-flight. Cheers did not erupt. Human commanders simply moved on to the next task. On the ground, a human sergeant checked on his unit. "Still with me?" he asked. Tired faces looked back at him. "Yes, sir." "Then hold," he said. "They're not done yet." Hours passed, then days. The alien fleet began to pull back, not defeated, but shaken. Their losses were higher than expected. Their morale cracked, their systems strained, and Earth still stood. The High Speaker of the Galactic Council watched the battlefield from far away. "This was supposed to be simple," he whispered. Cartel stood beside him. "It never is with humans." As the alien fleet moved to a distant orbit, a final message arrived from Earth. Not a threat, not a demand, a statement. "We will defend our world." Nothing more. The galaxy fell silent, because it had just witnessed something rare. A species that did not seek glory, did not seek dominance, only survival, and was willing to pay any price for it. The stars had watched many wars, but none like this, because for the first time, the galaxy understood the truth. Humans did not need to win. They only needed to endure, and they always did. The battle around Earth slowed, but it did not truly end. The alien fleet moved farther away, holding position beyond the moon. Their ships were damaged, systems unstable, and morale shaken. For the first time in centuries, a galactic force did not know what to do next. Inside the lead command ship, the fleet commander stared at the star-filled screen. Earth looked small again, but it no longer felt weak. Reports arrived constantly. Losses exceed projections. Human countermeasures improving every hour. Our predictive models are failing. The commander closed his eyes. "Stop comparing them to other species," he said. "They are not the same." Observer Cartel stood nearby, watching a live feed from the battlefield. Human forces were repairing defenses, recovering equipment, and rotating troops. "They are tired," Cartel said, "but they will not stop." Across the galaxy, the news spread fast. Trade networks carried images of human pilots, flying damaged craft back to base. Military channels shared recordings of human ground units, holding positions against impossible odds. Independent observers translated Earth's comm message again and again. "We will defend our world." No threats, no pride, just truth. On distant worlds, alien leaders watched in silence. They were supposed to break, one ruler said. They were supposed to beg, another replied. But humans did neither. The Galactic Council was called into emergency session. The same hall that once echoed with laughter now felt heavy. The High Speaker sat at the center, his voice quiet. "This conflict has drawn too much attention," he said. "The galaxy is watching us fail." Screens showed reactions from many species. Some were afraid. Some were impressed. Some were angry. "They fight like they expect to lose everything," one counselor said. Cartel stepped forward. "Because they often did," he said, "and survived anyway." The council reviewed human history in detail now, not as entertainment, but as warning. They saw civilizations rise and fall on Earth, wars that reshaped borders, disasters that erased cities, diseases that killed millions. And still, humanity continued. They never had guardians, a counselor said. No ancient protectors. No galactic allies. They had each other, Cartel replied. Back on Earth, soldiers finally had moments to rest. In a damaged base, a young soldier sat against a wall, helmet beside him. His hand shook slightly. An older soldier noticed and sat down. "First time?" he asked. The young soldier nodded. "You did good," the older one said. "Fear means you understand the cost." "Do you think they'll come back?" the young soldier asked. The older soldier looked toward the sky. "Maybe," he said, "but not the same way." Human leaders met again, connected across the planet. "They're watching us," one said. "Let them," the general replied. "We didn't start this." Captured alien equipment was studied carefully. Scientists worked beside soldiers, learning fast. Human technology improved not in years, but in days. Alien analysts noticed. "They are integrating our systems already, an alien scientist said in disbelief. The fleet commander slammed his hand against the console. This is impossible. Cartel shook his head. It is human. As hours turned into days, something unexpected happened. Alien ships began broadcasting warnings to nearby systems. Avoid Earth. Do not provoke. Humans resist. This message shocked the galaxy more than the battle itself. A dominant power was warning others. The High Speaker realized the damage was done. We cannot erase this, he said. The idea of humanity has spread. Fear shifted. It no longer pointed at Earth. It pointed at the Council. What happens if humans leave their system? A counselor asked. What happens if they remember this? Another added. The thought unsettled them. Humans had shown restraint. They had not chased a fleet. They had not used their full power. That worried the galaxy more than violence ever could. On Earth, a final decision was made. A human ship, repaired but scarred, moved forward alone. It approached the alien fleet slowly, openly, weapons powered down. This is reckless, an officer said. The general shook his head. No, he said, this is control. The human ship sent a signal, not a threat, not an apology, a record. It showed human history, wars, losses, sacrifice, unity, survival. It ended with a simple statement. We do not seek war, but we will not kneel. The alien fleet received it in silence. The fleet commander watched the recording again and again. They are not monsters, he said quietly. Cartel answered. No, monsters destroy without reason. Humans endure with purpose. The fleet slowly powered down weapons. For the first time since arriving, no one issued orders. They waited, and across the galaxy, the reaction was clear. Humanity was no longer a joke, no longer a footnote. They were a factor, a dangerous one, a respected one. The stars did not cheer. They watched, because the galaxy understood something at last. Humanity had not won a war. They had survived first contact, and that was far more important. The alien fleet did not fire again. For the first time since entering Earth's system, their weapons stayed silent. Engines hummed at low power. Ships held position, careful and distant, inside the lead command vessel. The fleet commander stood before the stars. His posture was no longer proud. It was thoughtful. We misjudged them, he said at last. No one argued. Observer Cartel stepped forward. The galaxy often mistakes noise for weakness, he said. Humans are loud only when they must be. When it matters, they're focused. The commander turned. If we attack again, he said, we may win battles, but we will create something far worse. Cartel nodded. A united humanity. That idea alone was dangerous. Back on Earth, human forces remained on alert. Soldiers rested in shifts. Repairs continued day and night. No celebrations filled the streets. The war was not over, but it had paused. In a global command center, human leaders gathered one last time. Screens showed the alien fleet holding position. They're waiting, an officer said. For what? Another asked. The general looked at the data, then at the tired faces around him. For us, he said. A single human ship was prepared again. Not large, not powerful, symbolic. It carried no weapons online, only communication systems. As it moved forward, millions of humans watched silently. The ship stopped at a safe distance from the alien fleet. A channel opened. This time, Earth spoke first. A human diplomat appeared on the alien screens. Not armored, not threatening. Calm. We understand now, the diplomat said. You came to judge us. The alien fleet commander answered. Yes. And, the human asked. The commander paused. We were wrong. Across the galaxy, the transmission spread instantly. We thought you were fragile, the commander continued. Divided, violent without purpose. The human diplomat listened without interruption. But you endure, the commander said. You adapt. You fight with restraint when you could choose destruction. He lowered his head slightly. The Galactic Council acknowledges humanity as a sovereign species. The words echoed through human command centers. Sovereign, equal. The human diplomat spoke again. "We didn't ask for this," he said. "You came to us." "Yes," the commander said, "and we will leave." Murmurs spread across Earth, but the diplomat raised a hand. "On one condition," he said. The commander stiffened. "State it." "Tell the galaxy the truth," the human said. "Not that we are conquerors. Not that we are monsters." Cartel stepped into view. "Then what are you?" he asked. The human diplomat looked directly into the camera. "We are survivors," he said, "from a hard world. We don't seek to rule others, but we will never accept chains." Silence followed. Then the fleet commander nodded. "Agreed." Within hours, the alien fleet began to withdraw. Ships turned away from Earth, one by one. They did not flee. They retreated with respect. Across the galaxy, official messages followed. Humanity recognized. Earth classified as protected sovereign space. First contact status. Mutual acknowledgement. The laughter that once filled the Galactic Council Hall never returned. Instead, discussions changed. Strategies changed. Assumptions changed. Humanity had forced the galaxy to reconsider everything. On Earth, soldiers finally stood down. A human sergeant removed his helmet and looked at the sky. The stars seemed the same as always, but everything had changed. Nearby, a young soldier asked, "So is it over?" The sergeant thought for a moment. "This part is," he said. Weeks later, Observer Cartel stood before the Galactic Council. "We thought power came from advanced weapons," he said, "from ancient fleets." He gestured to a projection of Earth. "But power also comes from endurance, from unity under pressure, from refusing to break." The Council listened. "Humans are not gods," Cartel said. "They bleed. They fear. They fail." He paused, "and they stand back up." Far away, Earth returned to its routines. Cities rebuilt damaged areas. Scientists studied the stars with new purpose. Children looked up, knowing they were not alone. Humanity did not rush into space. They prepared, carefully, quietly, because that was their nature. The galaxy learned to respect a simple truth. Humans did not win because they were the strongest. They won because they refused to disappear. And that lesson spread faster than any fleet ever could. Among the stars, a new rule was understood. Never mock a species born on a death world, especially one that calls it home.